Hello and welcome back to my channel. So today I want to talk to you about goals. And you have probably heard you have to have a goal. When you know what you want, you will be able to see much more clearer. And no one are telling you that it actually takes a little bit time, and we have hints on our journey what we really want. So now I want you to think about what you really don't like doing that you know you are not good at. I don't like doing things that has to do with math. I'm not good with numbers. So for me to pursue a career there wouldn't make sense. And it wouldn't make me happy. It would just make me frustrated. I am not good at designing things, even though I love looking at people designing beautiful things. But my talent and my interest is not in design. Marketing, I can see people are really good in marketing, but my interest is not sitting there and figuring out how to do it. Now, I can be a bit nerd on that part, like I can find it fascinating, but I know that that's not what I like doing. So I want you to think about for yourself, what are the things you absolutely don't like doing, that you don't want to spend a lifetime doing, or you want to have an education in. The reason why I'm saying this is because for me, when I started looking for my goal, it was a feeling that just came to me that I had to develop. I remember I was lying in bed before I discovered Bob Proctor, and then his video was popping up on the screen, and I signed up for one of his programs. And I saw what he was doing, and I was like, I want to do exactly what this man is doing. Now, exactly what that was, I had to find out in my own way what that was. And it's a journey. So when I saw that, I had evidence in front of me, like, I want to do that. It gave me a feeling of that is something I want to do. And then I would see other people doing what he was doing, and I was like, I love it. I want to keep going. I want to continue doing this and developing myself. So that felt right for me. Maybe it will be something different for you, but you kind of know what you want to do. But here's the thing. On my journey, like, I had different secretary jobs, and I hated it. Like, I was really good at organizing, and I worked well when there was a mission behind the person I was working for. But when there was no mission, I felt lost. I felt bored. And I knew that every day sitting there didn't give me, yes, I'm doing this. I'm working for a cause. And I think this is something that's not discussed enough too, because at a very young age, you are asked to pick what you want to do almost for the rest of your life. First, it starts with what you want to study, which direction you take in school, and then what you want to study. And then you have to stick with it. And then you get an education in that field, and then you start working. And after a couple of years, maybe you're out there and you're like, this doesn't give me joy, the joy I thought it would give me. I remember one of the children who lives around where I live, he said he wanted to be a pilot because you can earn a lot of money. It wasn't about yeah, this is exciting, I'm very curious. It was about the money. So if you think about what you want to do, would you do it even though you wouldn't earn so much in the beginning? Are you willing to figure it out and then receive the money for the service you're doing? Or do you just want the money? I was motivated for the money for a little bit, the jobs I had before, and it doesn't last. The joy doesn't last because it didn't inspire me. It didn't challenge me enough. And then before the flu came, in 2020, I asked the universe, I said, I'm sick and tired of doing what I've been doing till now. It just feels like I'm applying for the same job and that I'm not able to get more salary because I don't have more education, and I'm not able to get a better job because I'm dumb. That was what I said to myself at that time. And also, for many years, I didn't think I was smart. So of course, I attracted jobs that didn't fulfill what I wanted to do. So when I declared to the universe, help me. I don't know where I'm going. I am sick and tired of how my life has been going. I'm open for whatever you can offer. I'm open to do something different. Please show me. And when I released that to the universe, in the beginning, a lot of books started to come to me. And I was also able to be in the office where I worked at this time alone because of the flu. I used to drive on this Segway to work and I could feel the wind in my hair and I was so happy. And all these books started to come to me and I would listen to them on my way to work, and no one almost was in the office because of this flu thing. And I thought it was excellent because then I could think, I could walk freely and just do what I had to do and go home. I attracted new mentors into my life, and one of those were Bob Proctor. And when I saw him, I could just feel that he knew something that I didn't know. And I made a decision to take action and buy one of his programs. And this one program that I bought was called The Science of Getting Rich. And I was also drawing, and I binge watched that program for a weekend. And at the end, I knew what I wanted to do because I remember he asked the question, what do you really want? And I remember for the first time I could hear my voice. I could hear, and I said, I want to do exactly what you are doing. And I remember crying. And here's the thing, I had already opened up my heart before Bob came into my life. I declared to the universe that I was sick and tired, that I needed guidance. And when books came to me, I took action and I listened to them instead of thinking about it. And when the next book came, I took action, and the next. And then when I saw him on YouTube, I knew that this man is going to help me. And it was so beautiful. And I knew that I wanted to do exactly what he was doing. So it took me 39 years to discover what I wanted. So I want you to know that you're not behind. Keep asking and take action. If there's books or people who invites you out, go out there. Allow yourself to discover what you want. And maybe you're just happy with where you are, and that's okay. Not everyone wants to start a business. That's not part of everyone's goal and dream. Some people want to apply for that job. So if you are out there and you are looking and you're asking yourself, or you're saying, I don't know what I want. Everyone knows what they want. Start with declaring, I want to find out what I want in life. And then write a list of what you don't want to do, like I did with the finances, for example, or the graphic design. And then write a list of things you admire in other people. My whole life, I always enjoyed looking at people who are really good at presenting or talking or sharing stories and making you think and inspiring you to take action or find out something. I would always say to them, you're so good at what you are doing. Like if it was their presentation looking so simple, or maybe they didn't have a presentation, but they just knew how to speak. And I would just admire that so much. And when I was growing up, I used to sing, and people used to tell me, you are so good at what you do. So I used to practice a lot to form my voice and also make it sound like just me and how I would do things. And I remember that would give me a good feeling. This is my sound, how I'm doing this. And that's exactly the same thing with your goal. When you're forming what you want to do or you want to apply for that job, you just have to trust that who you are and how you are walking and talking are enough. But also know that maybe some of my skills and the information I have, I need to update that a bit and learn a bit more. But also know that you are enough. That if it's an interview you want to go to or you have landed, start saying to yourself that the interview is going to go amazing. Set that intention that the interview is going to go amazing. You're going to discover nice things. The energy is going to be good, instead of going to the other side where you're like, oh, what's going to happen? And you're nervous and you're putting the people on a pedestal that's going to interview you. It's just a conversation. Have fun. You get to find out about them if you like them. So then you are putting the pressure off you. You're just going through this interview to find out if you want to work for those people who are interviewing you. And maybe they have something in common with you, or maybe not. And if you don't get that job, that's God's protection or the universe protection, that something better is coming. You may not see it at this time, but I promise you that something good is always coming. And I used to get so nervous myself before every interview, but then I learned this technique that there's certain things I have to practice that is just automatically like things you know they're gonna ask. And then it's just up to the chemistry. And if the chemistry is not there, do you want to work there? I wouldn't. So going back to what do I really want? And as I've been talking now, you already know if you want to start a business or maybe become a graphic designer or study finance, or if you want to apply for that job. Like, you already know what you want. But here's the thing also. I wouldn't recommend asking people what they think you should do, because when you do that, you're handing over your power. They are not you. So how can they know your passion? How can they know your desire? If you failed at holding a presentation before, it doesn't mean that you can't hold a presentation. It just means that you're learning. Failing is actually a really good thing. It's a way for you to learn how to become better and better and better. And imagine if we would be super good at things from the start, it would be boring. That's why we're here, to learn and discover and get better and understand things and read books. When I was growing up, I didn't love reading books because when I was diagnosed with dyslexia, I thought that was the end of reading books. And then I just said to myself, I don't get things. And that is a paradigm that I've been working through, and sometimes it comes back and it tries to kind of hijack me. But I know what my goal is. So no matter what the storm is, I stand still. I move forward and I know that I'm going to the top. So I want you to think about you. What is it that you really, really want? What is this thing that you've been dreaming about doing? Maybe it's starting a YouTube channel. Why not do it? Take action now and find out how to do it, and then find out more and more. And know that it's going to be obstacles on the journey, but that is part of the process. That is part of growth. That is part of your education. Think about that. When you go for an education, there's going to be things that you need help with, understanding a bit more. Not everything is going to be easy, but that is part of life and that is part of learning. And while you're learning and discovering what you want, you also need to have fun. Don't be so serious. I used to be so serious. In the beginning, I think my first 2-3 years as a coach, I was so serious. But now I know that I am on the right track in my own way. So back to you, my friend. What do you really, really want? Make that list and declare to the universe and let it come to you. I see you soon. Have a beautiful, beautiful day.